Hello, EP2150. This is David. I'm an instructor of one of the EP classes, 2150. You might also have Mr. Jacques or Mr. Tariq. So I'm going to do the advertising and promotion module. So we're in the advertising and promotion for small business slide deck. Okay, so advertising. Okay, so the first topic we're going to start with is nature of demand for goods and services. So if you think about why is this important, the nature of demand, you have to understand to what degree people want your product or service. Okay, and it helps to understand some of the basic definitions. So demand means the desire or want for something. Okay, there's a demand for something. Demand equals the desire and the ability to pay and the willingness to pay. So you may want something, a new computer. You may have that much money in the bank to buy the computer, but you're not willing to part with that money. So that's no demand. But if you have the desire, the ability to pay, and you're willing to spend the money, that is demand. Okay. So demand for a product refers to the amount of product for which will be bought per unit of time at a particular price. So how many computers will you sell in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year? Okay, so for example, the slide deck here, demand for bananas by a household at a price of 50 reals per kilogram is 5 kilograms per week. So if you've done economics before, we discussed the higher the price, generally, sometimes the demand will go down because people are willing to pay less. Okay, so this is just the nature of demand for goods and services, so some definitions. Let's go to the next slide, slide 3. Individual demand. Demand from individuals, family, or households. It's a single consumer entity's demand. So think of this as one person, one shopper. What demand comes from that person? How many products are they going to buy? Okay. Market demand. So instead of individual demand, market demand, it's the total demand of all buyers added together. Okay, so think about what you would buy, and then think about what everybody else in the class would buy, and that totaled up is the demand for the particular product. It is the total of all quantities of a product demanded by all individual buyers at a given period of time. So if we did a poll and we asked how many people here bought a particular model of computer in the past year, that would be the market demand. Okay, or even everybody in the city of Doha, how many people had bought a particular model of computer? Because that's important, because Lulu and all the major retailers, they need to know how many computers are they going to bring in to sell. You don't want to be understocked, nor do you want to be overstocked. Understocked means you can't make any more revenue because you sold out. Overstocked means you hold inventory that you paid for that you can't sell. And both of these create a loss, an economic loss. Okay, for the company, sales depends on market demand. Marketing strategy depends on market demand. Prices are determined on the basis of demand for the product. Okay, so if there's a high demand for a particular product, often prices can go up. If there's low demand for a particular product, often prices will go down. Okay, so the next slide, slide 5, individual demand versus market demand. So we have 3 people here, Bo, Mo, and Joe. So if you look at the graph for Bo on the left, at $3 for whatever product that is, Bo is willing to buy 35 units. For Mo, at $3, he's willing to buy 39 units. And for Joe at $3, she's willing to buy 26 units. So each person has their individual preferences. But for the whole market, we add these 3 people up, and at $3, there's demand for 100 units of that product. Now, where do we come up with these kind of numbers? Well, it could be last year's sales. It could be market research for a new product and what people are expected to buy. And then we can know how many units of that product to bring into our store. Okay, so from individual, we add them up, we create market demand. Okay, the next slide, slide 6, promotion. Now, I know from business research, MR2300, a lot of people in their research projects, their first instinct for promotion is sales discount. We're not using that definition. Promotion is how to promote the product, how to get the product, the knowledge about the product into the market, to get the features, people's desire to want the product. That's promotion. Okay. Communication that builds and maintains favorable relationships by informing and persuading one or more audiences, so audiences could be your target markets, to view an organization positively and to accept its products. Promotion's goals is to stimulate product demand and build consumer relationships. Okay, so the forms of product promotion on the right side, you have online advertising, Facebook and Instagram ads, Google ads, there's direct mailing. These are mail pieces that come direct to your home. Billboards, TV, newspapers, phone advertising, there's all kinds of ways to do this. Radio's there, there's a lot of ways to advertise. Okay, 4 elements of the promotional mix. So in promotion, so in the marketing mix you have product, price, place, and promotion. We're looking at just promotion. At this part of this unit, we're only looking at 2 parts of promotion, advertising and sales promotion. Okay, this is slide 7. So slide 8, next slide. The objectives of promotion: create awareness, okay, that this product is available, that the product has certain features. Okay, stimulate demand, encourage product trial, get people to try the product. Identify prospects. Okay, by prospects they mean potential customers. Retain loyal customers, so keep them. Facilitate reseller support. So you might be a manufacturer. Lulu's buying your HP computers. Lulu might have some budget to advertise HP, but HP as a global company is doing its advertising to build up its brand so that when the retailers accept their product, the market, the people in the market already know about the HP computer. So it helps the people who are reselling the product. Combat competitive promotional efforts. So you're in competition. Lulu isn't the only place that sells HP products. So they have to compete with the other companies selling HP computer products. Okay? Reduce sales fluctuations. So sometimes there are products that have a certain kind of seasonality. They're very popular at certain times of the year and less popular at other times of the year. So if you have a lot of inventory and it's selling well because you're in the busy part of the year, and you still have inventory left over, and now you're in the very slow part of the year, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit on that inventory? Because you paid for it, your money's tied up. So maybe you're going to run a promotion to let people know these products are still available, maybe offer alternative uses for that product to continue the sales. Baking soda was a popular product that had sales fluctuations because baking soda maybe only had 1 or 2 purposes. And then people started, or the company started promoting baking soda as a rug freshener. Spread it on your rug, let it sit for an hour, then vacuum it, and it freshened up the rug. So they created other uses of the product, and they promoted that, gave people awareness that there's other uses for this product, and it leveled out sales. So you might be stuck with inventory at a slow period. Be creative. It might be a sales discount, but it might be just some other advertising that helps you sell that same product without having to do a discount on the product. Okay, next, advertising. A paid form of non-personal communication. Non-personal is the key here. A paid form of non-personal communication that is transmitted to a target audience through mass media. Okay, so TV, radio, newspaper, the internet, etc. Okay, so it's non-personal. That means you're not face-to-face with somebody. They're not talking to you. You're shaking hands. They're showing you the product. It's in some medium where there's not another person involved. You might see a spokesperson on a TV screen, but that's still non-personal. Effective advertising can influence consumer purchase behavior throughout their lifetimes. Okay? Most organizations, even nonprofits, engage in advertising. Okay? Unless you have the absolute best product that everybody wants, and it's, you've got to advertise. And even word of mouth is a form of advertising. And think of IKEA. IKEA is a very high demand store. Wherever IKEA locates, people go there. It doesn't matter wherever IKEA is. Okay, it's that popular. But if you notice, IKEA still has a giant sign on the outside of their building. IKEA from time to time will still send out flyers. Okay, they still have a website. So even the most popular products still advertise. Okay, next slide. Advantages and disadvantages of advertising. The advantage, cost efficient when it reaches a vast number of people at a low cost per person. So basically, if you ran a full page ad and it costs 15,000 reals to run that ad, and only one person looks at it, at your ad that day in the newspaper, that one person costs $15,000 to see your ad. Whereas on the other hand, if 150,000 people saw your ad for 15,000 reals, it cost 15 dirhams per person to see that ad. So reach, the number of people that get to see it, it's very important. It lets the source repeat the message over time. Visibility gained from advertising can enhance a firm's image. So doing advertising creates a level of credibility. If a guy pulled up on the side of the road in a van, opened the back doors and said, "Hey, you want to buy some speakers for your stereo?" You know this person is probably not legitimate. Okay, so advertising can help create legitimacy. Disadvantages. Absolute dollar outlay is high. That's for newspaper advertising. Radio, they want you to commit a large budget. TV, they want you to commit a large budget. The one exception to this now is in digital marketing, where on Facebook ads, you can probably run maybe 50 reals and start advertising. On Google, you can start with 25 or 50 reals and start Google ads. They do have minimums, but the minimums are so much lower than radio and TV. Okay. Rarely provides rapid feedback. So once you post that newspaper ad, it could be a week or two till you see some response to it. And even then, you don't know if it came from your newspaper ad. So it's difficult. Less persuasive than personal selling. Okay, so the word here, it's less persuasive because it's passive advertising. It just sits there. The newspaper ad is just sitting there. You have to pick up the newspaper. You have to turn to the page. You have to read the ad. Okay, and even then, you're doing all the work. Whereas a salesperson, they're reading your body language. They're talking to you in the language that you can relate to. They're shaking your hand. They're offering you tea. They're trying to become your friend. It's very personal. So advertising is less persuasive than personal selling. And generally limited time exposure. I'm not sure if anybody has in front of them right now Thursday last week's issue of the Gulf Times. It's gone. It's garbage, right? Once a radio ad plays, it's gone. All right. So the disadvantage is generally limited time exposure. Advantages and disadvantages of major media classes. So I'm not going to read this slide, but be aware, read through it right now. So there's medium, newspaper, magazine, direct mail, radio, television, internet, yellow pages, outdoor. So these slide decks cover 8 mediums. Okay. And in those 8 mediums, it talks about advantages and disadvantages. Okay. So each one, some of them reach larger audiences than others. Some of them cost more than others. So let's just go through television and internet. Television reaches large audiences, high frequency available, dual impact of audio and video. So you're seeing it and you're hearing it. Highly visible, high prestige because it costs so much. Geographic and demographic selectivity. So you can play your TV ads based on the region that the broadcaster can allow. So you can have Qatar-only ads. You don't have to go to the whole Middle East. BBC, for example, is a large organization. They have networks everywhere. CNN has broadcasts everywhere, but you can regionally select where your ad will show. Okay, the disadvantage, very expensive, highly perishable message. Once the TV ad's gone, it's gone. It doesn't sit on the screen forever. Size of audience not guaranteed. You don't know how many people are watching TV at that moment. Amount of prime time limited. So prime time means the exact time when people are watching. Lack of selectivity in a target market. Okay, and now there's a lot more disadvantages in the past few years because of video recording. and online watching, where people tend now to tune in when it's convenient for them. So that's a new disadvantage for television, but that's beyond the scope. Internet, immediate response, potential to reach a precisely targeted audience, ability to track customers and build databases, highly interactive medium. So if you do, for example, the digital marketing class, we do Google advertising, and you can target people based on exactly what they search on Google. So if you do Google searches, that's a behavioral search, and you can have ads only come up if people do a particular search. And on top of that, you can have ads come up if people do a particular search in a particular region, like say Doha. So it's very targeted. Yellow pages, outdoor, we won't go through these. I want you to read through these right now. You can pause this recording, read through these to get familiar with the advantages and the disadvantages. Okay, evaluating advertising effectiveness, the pre-test. So when you have a large budget and you have to make sure your money is not wasted, testing the advertising before it goes out is very important. So one of the tests is called a pre-test. That's evaluating of advertisements performed before the campaign begins. Okay, you might have a thing called a focus group, which you've done in MR2300, or discussed it at least in MR2300 Business Research, a focus group. And what you could do is you could show ads to people and get their responses. Okay, if you're a small business owner, you're not going to have a focus group, but you might come up with a few ads and just show them to some people randomly and ask what they think and get some feedback. Okay, so it doesn't have to be expensive for a small business owner. Consumer jury. A panel of existing potential buyers of the advertised product who are asked to judge the advertisements, sometimes utilized during the pre-test. Okay, again, if you're a small business, you're probably not going to do this. Just go around, ask some friends, ask somebody in marketing or advertising that you know to get their thoughts. Find some of your most loyal customers, the ones who you find are always honest, and even the ones who complain sometimes are the most honest, and get responses from them. In the initial stage, managers typically rely on inquiries to judge the effectiveness of a campaign. Okay, then there's the post-test. Evaluation of advertising effectiveness after the campaign. So once you run the campaign, you spent money on it, you're going to want to know what happened. Okay? Advertising objectives often determine which post-test is appropriate. So depending on what your objectives are. If your objective was brand awareness, people knowing about your company or your brand, that's a very different objective than stimulating immediate sales. So stimulating immediate sales would be much easily more measured. And we're going to go through an example of that in a couple of slides. There's recognition test. Individual respondents are shown the advertisement and asked whether they recognize it. Unaided recall. Ask subjects to identify recently seen ads, but does not provide any clues. Aided recall. Ask subjects to identify a recently seen ad and provides clues to jog their memories. Individuals are more likely to buy a product if they can remember the advertisement. So these are important. One thing I'll say is, if you're a small business owner, you're a sole proprietor, you're the one running the business, you're doing all of the work, you might not have a lot of time to do these things. But knowing that they exist, and if something's very important to you, take some time to do a post-test, take some time to show people some of your ad ideas before you go with them, okay? It could save you a lot of money, and measuring these things helps your advertisement improve in the future. That's the most important thing to know. Okay, so we discussed last time measuring effectiveness of ads depends on the purpose of the ad. So if your purpose was just brand recognition, and you look at this ad on the next slide, it's a discussion question with the cracker. Okay. Next to the cracker is a coupon. Okay. How does attaching a coupon to this advertisement for Club Crackers, that's the name of the cracker company, help marketers evaluate the success of the ad? Okay. So how does this coupon help the ad? Help evaluate the ad. Okay, so when people see a coupon, this is a coupon, let's just say those box of crackers, and just say this is an American ad, and those box of crackers are $2.75. and this coupon is $1 off. Okay, so when you buy any 2 packages of these crackers, you get $1 off. So people cut out this coupon, they go to the store, they pick up 2 boxes of the crackers, they give the coupon to the cashier. The cashier scans the coupon, it takes $1 off their bill, the customer's happy. Then what do you think happens? Well, the scanning of the coupon and the collecting of the coupon, they put it in their cash drawer. The scanning of the coupon will allow the company, something like Lulu or a Walmart in the United States, then track how many coupons were scanned. Okay, then Keebler, the company, I think it's owned by Nabisco, then gets this information from all their retailers. How many times was that coupon used? Okay, and here it says coupon expires November 30th, 2009 in really small print. So let's just say this coupon ran starting October 1st, and they gave it 2 months. So it was in a magazine, they cut it out, and over 2 months people brought in the coupon. By seeing how many people brought in the coupon, they know exactly how effective that ad was. Maybe that coupon brought in, that ad brought in 100,000 coupons, which created 200,000 boxes of the crackers to be sold because you had to buy 2 to buy the coupon. Keebler now knows how effective this ad was, and if they ran this ad, say they ran this ad in 4 different magazines, and each magazine though had a different barcode, they would then know which magazine was the most effective. And depending on the cost of each ad in each magazine, they would know exactly how much does it cost per magazine to generate 1 coupon usage from a customer. And then they can pick whichever magazine works the best for them, save money in the future. Okay? That's how to directly measure advertising. You can use a coupon. Okay, sales promotion. Now, before we were talking about just promotion, okay, just awareness, getting the name out there about the company. Sales promotion. This is where people originally thought it in MR2300. Sales promotion: activities or materials that act as a direct inducement, offering added value or incentive for a product to reseller, salespeople, or customers. Okay, so it doesn't have to be just customers. As you can see, salespeople. So there could be a promotion just for the salespeople. Whoever sells the most units of an HP computer this month gets a prize. Whichever reseller sells the most units, we're going to give them a free trip to the Caribbean that they can either keep themselves to the president, or they can give away to their favorite employee, or to customers. Sales promotion, again, that coupon was a sales promotion. Free samples, games, rebates, sweepstakes, that's like a contest, you can win prizes, contest, premiums, and coupons. Okay, so these are forms of sales promotion. You can do these for your own business. It doesn't matter the size of the business. It can be very helpful in getting people excited to come to your store and purchase things. It just has to be interesting and related to the target audience of something they want. Okay. 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 Now look at this next ad on this next slide. This orange popcorn. Okay. Discussion question: how is Dentec using a promotion? How is Dentec using a common problem people have with popcorn as a means of promotion and stimulating sales? Okay, look at this ad. I didn't notice it at first, and then I got it. Okay, what's one problem when we eat a lot of popcorn? Okay, the kernels get stuck in our teeth. Okay, and there's almost nothing more irritating than a popcorn kernel because they're hard and they slip in between our teeth, getting stuck in our teeth. It's very irritating. And I would never have, this is a genius idea. Okay, look at the box. Don't you just hate it when popcorn gets stuck in your teeth? And look below that. One of those little Dentec dental floss toothpicks. This is brilliant. So now, say at the movie theater, or wherever this popcorn is being sold at a fair or somewhere like this, people are now getting familiar with the Dentec brand. So you eat the popcorn, you're happy, kernel got stuck in your teeth. Dentec solved our problem. So the next time you're at a drugstore or somewhere like that sells these products and you see Dentec, is like, oh, I got to get some of those because they work so well. All right? And that's just a brilliant use of promoting a product. So Dentec probably provided these for free and probably paid a price. They might have even paid for the whole bag for the popcorn company as a way to motivate them And it creates a great partnership between these two companies. Okay, direct versus indirect promotion. So this is a YouTube video of the differences between direct and indirect promotion. So pause this recording. I want you to watch this video and then come back and I'll continue talking. So just pause the recording and watch this video. Okay, so that's the end of the slide set on advertising and promotion.